one. I got a fun game for us to play too later, so I'm gonna put that right over here.
I hate games.
Dude, you're gonna love this one. You're gonna fucking learn to love it. All right, cool.
Heck yeah, Harbinger of the Seas.
And
I have an interesting question for you guys when we talk about that card.
X-Cow.
Is that card good? Probably not.
I don't think it's better than Magus. In the sense of shutting your opponent off.
Right, because everyone's playing blue anyway.
Well, yeah, you're allowing them to still cast counters. Red stops them from doing that.
No, I think the blue is better.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think blue benefits your opponent more than red would.
Nope. We'll talk about it.
Or are you strictly saying that because of Island Walk?
It's got nothing to do with that. Nope. Nope.
I need these cards, by the way.
What?
The Cowboy Bebop ones, I need the lightning strikes.
Yeah, assuming that
They're
like
played in standard.
well, I hope like lightning strike's a perfect one, right? That's like the one that's gonna stay forever. Like that's always going to be.
Same with Disdainful Stroke. I think the card like
Comes and
always
goes.
see play.
Yeah, it's always existing in standard, right? Like it's always just sprinkled into sets. So like
And
like,
casually appear. I feel like I'm using the wrong word here. Occasionally, there we go.
There you go, perfect.
Appears
Like
in
it.
Pioneer.
You get a V star for that.
I had that in my Pioneer sideboard.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
I was playing old border ones. Right, Bo?
Yeah, tell him, Bo. What the hell is this? They do weird shit in Pokemon. All right. You are listening to episode 149 of Paper Player. I'm your host, Tony. I'm joined with Josh, Jeff. Yep, that's it. No, JB. I'm so used to the cadence of Josh, Jeff, and JB.
Yeah. I like actually was waiting for you to say JB. I was like, why isn't he saying? Oh yeah, he's not here.
He's doing some stupid anime stuff because he's an anime weeblord, and I think he lives his life being an anime weeblord. So, JB, suck it in your stupid anime. Always going on a Wednesday to some movie theater to watch some cool flicks, but don't really have too much. Oh, gone.
I was gonna say NSFW. Not so fast, weeb.
I like that. So I'm a big fan of that. I'm gonna use it from now on. Not too much crazy things happen. Kind of the settling of Thunder Junction and kind of its implications of multiple formats. There's some clear standouts and then some big scorecards that are kind of cool. And then I think there's some pretty forefront obvious ones. And then we can talk about the Cowboy Bebop, which I do have on the screen, as well as some of the leaks that we just got announced from the Modern Horizons 3 leak, which I don't know why.
And some leaks that announced, I wouldn't say that word. I would say some leaks have sprung.
Yeah, some leaks have
They are
sprung.
coming in hot.
Yeah, they're on their
coming in hot.
Yeah,
They sprung a leak in the water tower.
they got it. So yeah. So as you can see on the screen, but I guess before we get into all that, Josh and Jeff, did you guys play Magic?
Josh.
Sorry, I was drinking.
Damn, that's cool.
I played Magic today against Jim. But hang on. So last week I played against Jim, but it happened on Thursday, so I didn't get to talk about it on the podcast. And we played like our 40 card like pre-release pool.
Yeah.
And I played Bonnie in that. Or I was playing like black green, and I literally splashed blue to play Bonnie Paul.
Yeah, that card's
and I beat
really dumb.
That's nuts.
Jim with that, and like just like what else? There was a flying 2/2 or whatever was what I was beating him with.
Yep.
And Bonnie Paul. Yeah, and then today, so we opened our box or whatever, and we built 60 card like league or just
60 card
or
limit
like
sealed.
box constructed deck or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was playing blue red because I wanted to play my fast lands or whatever, because I got 2 fast lands with blue red. And I got Archmage's Charm and Commandeer, and I also got the Mythic that lets you, every time you cast a Outlaw spell, you get to copy it.
Oh, the
And
blue
that's the deck I
enchantment.
wanted to build it around, or yeah, the blue enchantment. It was like copy all your Outlaw spells.
Hmm.
And I also played Jason that deck too. Uh, which I want to talk about. So I like game one, which I won today. So I won game one, and I on like turn 4 or whatever, played the Jace, and I was just like pinging in the air with some like flyer, and I, foretelled a card, and which was like the do 2 damage when you foretell it and whatever. And then like I get to like Jace that like I get Jace up to 6 or whatever, which is 2 activations, and then he goes to like play a land or whatever, one of the deserts. He's like, ping me, and I was like, you sure you don't want to ping my planeswalkers about the ultimate? And I was like, he's like, I don't give a fuck about that. It's until end of turn, and I'm like, what? And I read the card, and it says until end of turn, you get to copy your spells. What kind of bullshit is this in 2024?
I know
It's because
shit.
you should be winning if you're copying all your spells for free.
Yeah, yeah,
I remember when you ultimated a planeswalker and it won you the game.
yeah. Those days of
Planeswalkers suck now.
yeah.
Yeah, Jace sucks.
They make a stale. They make a stale kind of gameplay. They just after War of the Spark, War of the Spark and Oko kind of just ruined like the future designs because they were like we can't scale this up ever again because whoops, like
Right.
there's just too many.
And
They've
then
opened more. Oh, go ahead.
and then games 2 and 3, he proceeded to show me that he just put all of his mythics from his box into one deck. He was playing some like 5-color soup deck, and
Yeah.
then he just proceeded to stomp me with like the Rhino and the Hydra and some mythic artifact that like whenever you, or one of the big score artifacts that whenever you cast something, you copy an artifact, and then
Yep.
he was like Jolening me and like just killing me with meteorites. It
Yeah.
was, yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. And that was the Magic I played.
Nice.
That's-
Jeff, tell us what you did.
So Saturday I went to go play in the pre-modern tournament. I took Sly. Round 1 I played against Blue Black Psychotog, and I got there in 2. Round 2 I played against Mono Blue Stifle Knot. And game 1 he got me. Game 2 I had counter and 2 overloads in hand.
Yeah.
And he goes Dreadnought, Stifle. I go counter. He counters back. I'm like, all right, resolves because I was tapped out. He passes his turn. I go overload. He taps the rest of his mana to counter it. I'm like, all right, cool. I go overload. And he was like, I drew the island I needed last turn and he foiled me.
Wow.
So I was out of cards in hand at that point, just like was dead. So I lost. Then I played against Blue White Control, got him in 2.
Nice.
And then round 4 played against Blue White Green on camera, and I got him in 2, and I think under like
10
15,
minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah, that was super fast.
Our second match, I got up to like 9 mana. But I ended up just whittling him down. And then I was in 7th place at this point before the last round. My opponent was in 5th, so my opponent could have drawn, but I ran the risk of getting 9th seed if the matches turned out the way they did.
Yeah.
So we played, and I ended up playing the mirror match, and he ended up getting me. I think he was running a better version. I do like running. He was running Shock over Pillar.
Gotcha.
And I was running Pillar, and he was also running Urza's Bauble.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. And I think that card's really good because it turns on your Lavamancers like right away, which is really nice.
Yep.
And I think he ended up winning the whole event actually. So I lost to the guy who won, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Premon. Yeah.
Feels bad,
But-
man.
I really enjoy pre-modern. It's a fun format. Like games don't feel over like right away a lot of the time, which is nice. You actually get to play some Magic.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. I did a draft earlier today, and I beat my opponent on Moto with 11 seconds left, so that felt good too.
Those always feel nice. The squeak wins. You're like, I beat you.
I drew the Strix to tap down his one creature and swing to kill him
Yeah.
for exactly 8, so that felt great.
Does playing pre-modern bring up the like feelings you played back when pre-modern was just standard?
No, because I didn't know what I was doing back then. So like playing a like cohesive deck doesn't really remind me of that. It, honestly, it just because back then, you know, I was playing like 60 card like Decree of Annihilation with like no
Or
win
like
condition.
whatever 60 card
Yeah.
out of the like pile of magic cards.
Yeah, so like my stuff wasn't really cohesive back then. It reminds me of like when I first started going to F&M after like understanding that there was a meta.
Yep.
It felt like sitting down like back in Alara block and
It was
Lorwyn.
Lorwyn for me.
Yeah,
Lorwyn was
like
when I
both of
started
those.
at putting thoughts into how I built a deck.
And it reminded me of that, sitting down and like reading what like my opponent's doing and like thinking ahead. So it feels good. It was a lot of fun. I ended up picking up a demonic consultation so I can piss off our play group even more. So that should be fun.
I like it. 6.
Also, I wanted to state I've opened up more Oko, what is it, Thief of Crowns in Thunder Junction than I ever did in original. What was that? Eldraine.
Yep. Yeah.
I opened one in the original Eldraine.
I opened none, and I've opened 2 so far in Thunder Junction.
Nice. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, pre-modern's a dope format. It's a relic. Like, it's not the pure, like, you'll never get that pure nostalgia, right? Like, the only, for me, it's going to be, I swear, I will be at that I will be at the RCQ in a minute if they're like, Alara and Zendikar block standard. I'm like, all right, I'm fucking there. Like, I will play that format so hard. But yeah, it's not what, where we are in this day and age. And God, I wish I could go back. But
I think that's why I enjoy standard so much, because like no matter how good the cards get in standard, you're still not like losing turn 1 or 2. It's not modern.
No.
Pioneer's even getting close to that.
Yeah. Well, it's so the pureness or the love of the format really comes from like draw goes the thing. You get to like not as from a control aspect. Sometimes you just draw a card and you're like, this doesn't do anything in this situation. I guess go. Whereas like cards now read like, oh, if it doesn't do this, it's a moto spell. Oh, you can play the backside of it. Oh, you can. It's like there's always something to do, and that kind of like closes the gap of like ability to kind of wait or draw. I mean, how many times in games where it's just like draw go between you and your opponent in like 2010, 2011? Probably a lot. Not crazy amount, but like it happened. Now it's like I swear if my opponent like misses a turn, it signifies to me that I've won this game so hard, like because they're so dead because I'm gonna double spell next turn, and there's just no like road to redemption for there. Whereas like you're like, oh, he top decked a Baneslayer. Oh, I missed get hit by the Baneslayer. Oh, here's the Doomblade. Got it.
Counter argument.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Farewell.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, there are cards that exist that do that.
I mean, blue-white before Thunder Junction was like becoming the best deck in standard, like blue-white control and the win.
For sure.
So I mean, it happens. Like control's always going to exist, but like control's just getting better because, like you were saying, like counter spells are just modal spells now. It's like
they all do
all
other
it counters
things.
and it does this.
Yep. Yeah. But
I mean, look, a prime example of that is Sunfall.
A new one.
It's literally a win condition for control because you wipe the board or exile, which is even crazier.
Yep.
And then you get a dude out of it.
Oh yeah.
Who's protected from Wrath until you need to flip it.
Oh yeah.
How many indestructible creatures are there in standard right now?
I don't know. There's
4.
a bunch of those like
discard a card,
uncommons where it's like discard a tap and it gets indestructible.
Yeah, that's like.
I feel like they have to like wait until those get out of standard to like start printing destroy Wrath.
I don't think they do though, like because those creatures just don't do anything.
Yeah.
Like cool, you're swinging at me for 2. Well, I'm gonna backswing, gain 2, and like hit you for like 15.
Yeah, I mean one of the big things.
Why in the current standard is all the Wraths exile based then?
It's commander.
Well, it's to depopulate. You have depopulate that gets played as a sideboard card. They don't like farewell is the big crazy one, right? And nobody plays it as like a scale of 4. Sunfall is a win condition, which is just a bad design. It's makes it so the control decks don't have to put win conditions in. But like destroy target creature, that like you can put it in now. Like, as far as like indestructible creatures, it's irrelevant. Like there's a few cards that are like maybe get out of hand, but come on, we have how many different exiling things that exist that are not wrath effects, right? That are just like exile target thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, you have some of like the best removal to ever exist nowadays too, like stuff like Get Lost. I mean, you even have Eidbinder.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I like that. What about that new one, the Shoot the Sheriff?
yeah,
I think that's like outside of like I think that might be one of the best removal.
Which one is that?
Destroy target non-outlaw creature.
yeah, it's pretty good. Like
That one's good.
yeah, as long as there's not a rogues deck, like it won't be embarrassing, right? Because I can't imagine there being like a mercenary deck that people truly play.
I think that's not it. I think you just have to be more mindful because creatures just have like additional like creature types just stapled on them nowadays. Like nothing is just a goblin or an elf.
Yeah,
I think like currently it's like the best removal spell, but I think as time goes on it gets worse because like you were just saying, they staple a million creature types on cards now.
yeah, and all the big flashy mythics that they kind of want to push, they're just like, let's just stamp Ward 2 or Ward 3 on it. It's just like, oh, fuck. Like I have to have, like, it makes sense that if you spend 5 mana on your big awesome card, I should also have to spend 5 mana to deal with it and not have like a 2-minute answer. But like, it's kind of the versatility, right? Like, you know, the Dice of Doomblade argument, where a 2-minute card, like destroying like a 7-mana creature, like it doesn't really feel good in the game of Magic. So like stapling Ward on that kind of makes it so it's like a little bit of a fair up game, but you also need cheap removal to be able to deal with like pesky creatures on the ground, right? So like,
Yeah,
it's a weird balance.
And Ward also makes
How
you
do
feel
you
more comfortable with like tapping out to cast a creature.
Yeah.
Which ward is worse, like Ward 1 or Ward sack a creature?
I think Ward 1 is worse.
I don't really know. That's a good question. I don't really think of it like that. I the wards that have
Or, like-
bothered me, yeah.
Or like what's worse, like a Ward something or a Ward tax?
Like worse isn't like
Like,
Like,
underwhelming.
it
like,
shifts with the
as-
format, right? So if I'm playing,
I
if
mean,
I'm playing
like,
Modern or
as, like,
Legacy,
what-
Ward
Which
tax
one is
bothering me.
harder to beat?
Harder to beat, I think, wards that involve sacking things because you have to
Yeah.
devote mana most of the time to casting something versus like
Isn't there one that's like Ward sacrifice a legendary creature?
yes, it's
Yeah.
the Sauron.
Yeah, but that, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They just,
The-
we're not playing that card.
The only one that really saw play
Like
that
a
was
Vein
like
Ripper. Vein Ripper is sack a creature.
It's the wrong one.
there's also the
This one.
Mishra. Yeah, that
So-
one's gross.
This one's
2
sick.
life and 2?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I just put this in my
Why
blue back
doesn't it
control
just say
EDH.
it's sick.
They should just say like first.
There's a legacy deck I
card-
watched. Someone turn one
Go ahead.
this. Yeah, they went land, lotus petal, dark grit, this, and then their opponent just goes, "Well, I lost." Like super dead.
This
Right.
is like a control player's like wet dream, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, this card is
Commit a
stupid.
crime, make 2/2/2s. Like
Yeah.
your win condition is right there.
Nothing.
Wow.
Well, it's
that's
actually 2 3
busted.
3s because it gives
Yep,
+1/+1
with
so,
menace.
So it's like you wait till turn 6. It's like it's basically Grave Titan. You go like, play this. Thought sees you. All right, take your only answer to this, and
my
here comes the
God.
wrath. Like,
Yep.
good luck. This card's so sick. Love it. Yeah, it's
How much is that card?
only $10.
$8.
Yeah, it's not much.
I opened
Right
one.
now, how is that card like $10 and then Tiny Bones is like $30?
Tiny Bones is a
Because
medium.
Tiny Bones is 1 mana. And Tiny Bones does like really gross stuff.
Is it good?
Yeah.
They
Oh,
saying
yeah,
it-
this
or
card's good.
Jeff, my buddy Jeff called it Ragavan.
It's close.
It's like it's like we got Ragavan at home.
Yeah, except I can block really well. That touch is real. Tick.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. I didn't realize this was a this is probably like everybody's dream card to play in like Commander, right? So like it's just go get plus yeah. All right. Let's get
Not to mention like People like that character.
Yeah, he's funny. Like, and like him having a super like super small mana cost is just kind of on theme of what that card is.
What he
but
is, he's tiny.
all I did for Magic related, I finished the deck finally that I'm planning on playing for Legacy this Friday, and then I did my spring cleaning of just like vetting all my cards, pulling everything I want out, and I have 2 5Ks of foils that are bulk foils. Foils don't have value anymore; they just don't, and that's because of collector boosters. So
Need to go through these. I need to go through these foils for Commander.
yeah, and then like all the cards that were playable, like in the last couple of years, I've just been plucking. Like here's all the like I know these are playable, so I put them off to like a playable box, and that sits. And then I don't know what the bulk rate is for foils, but we're gonna find out because like they used to be a nice price. It used to be like a significant price because you get one
Get
every 3
nickel.
packs, and now they're just like, oh, they're everywhere. Like you never
Repack.
yeah, they're hard to get rid of. So all
I
right,
was just at some card shop where they pay like 10 cents, like
a foil.
a bulk.
Foil rare.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
bulk.
or it was like bulk rare. It was
Yeah.
like 10 cents a card.
Yeah, it used to be that was the bulk rate, and that bulk rate's gone down to like
For a
on average
while.
like 4 cents.
Chicago was like 8. In Chicago, I got 8 cents.
Yeah, it's they're basically taking a gamble. They're hoping that you missed on something, and then they get like a $10 card that covers their cost, right? That's the gamble of it. And like if you're a good bulk picker, like most people aren't, because when I've purchased bulk in the past, it's like, oh yeah, like this is really bulk. I'm like, sure it is, and then it's like, oh, you missed this uncommon, or like that's a $12 uncommon that you didn't know, or here's a rare that you may not have known, like a Titanic Ultimatum. It's like all that stuff, it's random cards like that just pop up, and you're like, oh, so these 4 cards paid for everything in this box, sick, and I still have 2 more rows to go through, right? So
Yeah.
all right, but yeah, did my spring cleaning. But as far as Magic goes, there was some cool announcements. Which the first one was these Cowboy Bebop X Magic collaboration. This is not a secret layer. This is only cards that you can get one with this or get through the Summer Showdown. They do have some pretty cool sleeves. The 5 cards that they're showing here that you see on the screen are Ossification, Disdainful Stroke, Go for the Throat, Lightning Strike, and Snakeskin Veil. And the style is really, if you haven't seen Cowboy Bebop, the intro to the show it looks like it's clipped out from there. It's obviously using Magic characters, but the style is like identical to that Cowboy Bebop
Like the
intro.
dancing
The-
Faye,
Yeah.
Braska.
They did a recreation of the intro with these characters in those positions.
Yeah, it's super, like, it's just
It's
really
so
cool.
well done.
Yeah, it's like these are the things that they should always be doing. I thought this was going to be a Japanese exclusive, and then obviously there's probably a lot of hype.
I thought it was too. The
They're-
way it was, like the way it came out, like
Yeah.
leak wise, was it was going to be a Japanese only thing, and I was like,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
that was cool.
So they
So
are
then-
Japanese in Japan, which those will be a premium still
Oh yeah,
because it's an anime with Japanese. Like
it's a weeb nation, baby.
I wish JB was here to talk about this because I imagine he's going to be trying to get those.
Yeah. So there are there are 40 playmats available for each design. I don't know what that means. Does that mean each store gets 40 playmats, or is there only 40 that exist?
No,
'Cause-
there's
So you win a playmat, I think, at the
there's
showdown.
40. There's 40 of each playmat, so there's 40 times 5. There's 200 playmats.
okay, so that's it. Those are gonna be a super premium. That's gonna be like the IHOP playmat.
There's
So the standard showdown one, I don't know if these dates are accurate, but it seems like these are going to be sprinkled throughout the next 5 years or the next year of standard. So August 2nd through 19th, we'll have the ossification, and then they'll kind of just go down the line. So that's the way that you get them. You have to go to your local store to get them.
No, oh wait, that's next year.
Yeah, so these are kind of far away. So as far as Lightning Strike, you have a full year, Jeff, before you can get one of those. So good luck.
I'm gonna get them all. So
Yeah, they look really clean. They're cool. Yeah.
I think I get the Go for the Throat for the cube, and yeah, because the Lightning Strike I have in the cube, I think I like better.
Yeah. And like, yeah.
The whatever secret, the guy who did the like, he's got a cool dark ritual, and
Yeah.
that's what the secret was like.
That's
dark ritual,
McKibben?
Lightning Strike. No, it's not him. It's like Kev Walker or something. I don't think it's Kev Walker either. It's like the guy's actually dead.
Okay. Yeah. So Wait, this thing's Searing Spear here, but that's not true, is it? It's Lightning Strike. This guy screwed
No,
up.
it's Lightning
Nice article, dum. Way to blow it. Searing Spear hasn't been printed since like whatever that thing is. And then I think M12. I don't know. It was so weird that they went from there's Incinerate, Searing Spear, and Lightning Strike, and there was one more. I thought there was
Frank Frazetta is the
Incinerate.
artist's
Yeah.
name.
No, Incinerate's like the one that comes to mind. That's like the initial one. There's like Incinerate, Searing Spear, which came out after because that was basically Incinerate without the
Spear
regeneration.
also costs double red, doesn't it?
No,
costs
it's right. No, they're effectively the same clause, except Incinerate has that clause of can't be regenerated. So,
Right.
suck at trolls. Yeah, so that's really cool. Pretty excited for those things to come out. The playmats are obviously going to be super sick if you can get one, but good luck. That's going to be like a $600 playmat, if not more. Taking a little page out of Lorcana's book. All right, the other big news. Yeah, there's some MH3 leaks. I haven't really gone too much in depth. They're really hard to read, but the big one that's kind of got everybody's fancy.
There's one that there's one that whenever a Lorgoyf is put into your graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, put it
Yeah.
onto the battlefield, and then it also does something else and it makes Tarmogoyf tokens,
Okay.
which I think is cool.
Yeah.
I got my Tarmogoyf waiting.
We're gonna get it. Here we go. All right. So, we have the one I'm showing on the screen now is the leak that is Blue 1 Harbinger of the Seas, which is a Merfolk wizard. It's a 2/2, and its effect is non-basic lands are islands. So Blood Moon, Magus of the Moon, but blue. It does cost another pip than normal. Yeah, this is an interesting card. That's what I'll say about it now. Blood Moon effects have kind of
These
been
cards
bad for the
busted.
last. Well, Blood Moon effects have been bad for a very long time.
Have they?
Yeah.
Really? I
Oh,
still
yeah.
put that card in my sideboard. It still demands at least 2 sideboard slots in my decks or
Yeah.
whatever. I always play 2.
That's fair.
And it wins games.
I-
Sometimes it just free win.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So here's why this card is being printed, and it kind of links to what I was saying earlier about cards being printed for Commander.
Yeah.
So a big complaint in Commander over the past months has been utility lands, especially colorless lands, just doing too much, and
Yep.
because Armageddon, Ravages of War, stuff like that is looked down upon. This is a way to print an answer to those cards without actually destroying lands.
Sure. Okay.
And
I
I think
think
that's a
that's,
big drive.
I think that's a factor, but I don't think that was what they thought. I don't think that was any part of the design in this card.
I just can't
This
believe
was
it doesn't affect
100%
blue.
it's all modern is the scope of this.
But what
set,
does
right?
this do in Modern?
It's just another Magus of the Moon, kind of like the last set. We got a mock, or we got the Reshit import Merfolk and all that other shit.
Yeah, they've been kind of getting a lot of land manipulation because it kind of initially existed in blue anyways, and also existed in black. But this effect kind of belongs to blue. The only ones that have it is for red. Red has destroy target land, and then they also have 2 Blood Moon effects, which is Magus of the Moon and Blood Moon, and then they also have Blood Sun and all those other random ones that don't really make sense. I shouldn't say make sense, but they just
Yeah,
do
they're
weird
not
things.
Blood Moon.
Yeah. Yeah, this one, I just think blue. These effects have kind of sucked for a while now.
Modern doesn't care. Most of the stuff in Modern doesn't cost mana, or they function off 2 lands.
Yeah, and I mean they were very careful. They made sure that this was a creature, so that way you could still solitude it. You can still,
Yep.
yeah,
Subtlety it.
yeah, yep. You can still affect it. Magus of the Moon, and I know you will probably want to get into this, Jeff. That you assume Magus of the Moon is a better card than this, and the only thing that it has merit is it's easier to cast a Magus of the Moon for red and 2 versus blue 1. But I think the blue factor makes it a better card.
I think the blue one is better for you. I think the red one is better for shutting down your opponent. because almost everything in Modern plays blue, except for like Yogg.
I think Jeff has like a leg here. I think the blue one. I think the effect is very powerful, but I don't
Agreed.
think it's as I don't think it's impressive as Blood Moon is, because like 50% of the field is on blue
in
in Legacy at least.
oh yeah, sure.
In Modern.
Maybe not in Legacy. It's like they do the same thing, right? They're both affecting the amulet decks, right? They're both there to beat down on amulet. So they're a wash there. Where I think this card like stinks, is this exact here, right? If you were to play this here, and I'm not doing the Leyline of the Guild pack because I understand that this is like too good for it, but mainly red gives access to Lightning Bolt, which gets rid of the Magus, and blue does not. Blue gives them access to nothing. Like, and obviously like Leyline of the Guild pack changes that, but ultimately it's like Lightning Bolt and Ragavan are still two major components. Ragavan's able to give you a treasure, so you're able to get out of the colors lock, and then also Lightning Bolt is an answer to Magus of the Moon. Now, if we just go Blood Moon versus, clearly Blood Moon, because the enchantment portion is harder to get rid of, but like Pick Your Poison is getting much more popular, which is, man, that card is sick. I've been watching that on streams lately, and man, the amount of Urza Sagas that just get, you got to attack an enchantment, like boom, wow, like that's so sick. But that's like the only leg up I will say, just because Lightning Bolt is a heavily played card, and Lightning Bolt specifically deals with that. Whereas if you were to turn things into islands, like there aren't island removal spells that deal with it. Now, yes, you can get on the stack, but that applies to both things. It's the after the resolution factor that I think is giving this a leg up.
I mean, the blue one also allows your opponent to still cast Murktide.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, they do get a giant.
When I was like
that is fair.
crafting with the deck, that's why I was like, I need to put Murktide in this deck.
yeah, it does.
Like
it
the
does
way I
allow
look,
that.
it's a tough situation because it's like, which would you rather deal with, a Ragavan or a Murktide? And like, obviously, it's always situational, but I think
Right.
they both
It's like,
allow for
no.
your opponent to still do things.
Yeah,
I think
And that's
the
why
deck
they're
that
not good right
emerges-
now.
I think the deck that emerges with this card will be playing both Ragavan and Murktide.
Yeah, it's just gonna be 12 Moon.
well,
Yeah,
that's if 8 Moon is not good enough, I don't think 12 Moon will be good enough. And it's one of those
8
effects
Moon-
that
8 Moon-
yeah.
Remember when Modern Horizons 2 came out? It was good. It was the deck.
Well, that's because the format hadn't flushed itself out yet.
do we have to go through a banning for that? I don't remember if 8 Moon was a thing. I tried Moon decks and they all
It
sucked.
was. I played it. I won an event with it.
Oh, you're talking about you had 4 Magus and 4 Blood Moon?
No.
I was like, no
well,
world.
Well,
Yeah.
I had 4 Blood Moon, and then I had one Magus in the board.
Oh,
So
fair,
I think
sure.
I wanted to play more,
Yeah,
but like the deck existed
yeah. It's tough.
because the Ragavan lets you do it on turn 2.
Yeah. So there are Blood Moon effects in existence. I don't know if Blue will ever take this effect. Mainly it's
Right,
the
like,
biggest bonus is you have it that it it's a merfolk. That's also giving it some push because you can make it. There's a lot of tricks with merfolks, and they keep planting in random cards that are like you forget about, and then you're like, oh crap, this thing exists. Like the trickster that just came out.
Tidebinder.
Yeah, Tidebinder, that's a big one. Like that's just like randomly there. It's like all these random 3-drops. Like I think
There's
the
the
day
two
oh, go on.
I was gonna say there's the 2-drop from Dominator United also that allows you to sack a merfolk to counter a non-creature spell or non-creature unless they pay 1.
Yep.
Which like gives this protection. There's also Sylvain or whatever from Modern Horizons 2 that gives them all like Ward 1.
Yep.
Like, there's just so much. Like they have so many things, and this is just. Merfolk probably still isn't good enough even with this.
No, it's got an inherent problem which requires you to have your creature survive, and then it's the go wide strategy. Like if we were to look at like Legacy for like goblins, it's nowhere near what it used to be. It's not like this
That's because it's turbo goblins now.
Well, there's the like lord effects just don't have a place in Magic anymore. That's just not like you shouldn't be building a lord's deck because you just set yourself up for failure. You're like, I need all 4 of these cards to then
blown out.
And they're just like, yeah, we're gonna just Supreme Verdict. Like, well, I just got 4 for 1 and I'm completely blown out. Yeah.
It takes too long to set up in a world where Magic and anything outside of Standard and Pioneer like can be decided by turn 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Like how many merfolks can you really have out to push pressure by turn 2?
Right. That's a lot. It's just the world's different. Like I've played Legacy Goblins. I've played Legacy Merfolk back when it was 2010, where you were like going lackey and going, but like it's just that those days are gone. Like you just can't, like in an Orcish Bowmaster meta, you certainly cannot play like one toughness creatures that like need to survive and connect. Like that's just never gonna happen. So
Agreed.
yeah. But yeah, this card's sick. It certainly sparks like a lot of interest, and I mean, Blue Moon used to exist, which was a deck from like 2013 that was played in like a Pro Tour for Modern, which was literally like Cryptic Command deck that played Blood Moon and Magus the Moon effects, and that was the only thing that was red in the deck. The entirety of the deck was blue, and this kind of makes it go into mono blue, but I don't think that strategy is worthwhile at this moment. Like it's just, I mean, unless
You telling me you busting out your cryptic commands?
no, I love those. They should they really need to put Cryptic Command either in Standard or Pioneer, because its power level is just it's so old. Like it's such an old card.
I think Mind Sculptor could even be printed into the format.
Into Pioneer.
You
Yeah.
said that recently.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. I agree with that 100%. Yeah, but this card's a nice one, and
Is the big score set legal in standard?
Yes.
So like Topo Orb is in standard?
Yes.
Cool.
yeah, it's a nightmare if you need any of those cards for Arena because they're all mythic. So good luck. Like if you need those cards, hopefully you don't.
Fortunately, I am a paper player, so
Yeah, me
I
too.
have.
like, guess
I opened
I'm
a
used, I'm used to
or
all my Magic cards costing paper.
Prices. Yeah, yeah. All right. So a whole bunch of decks, because it's like officially been like a full week of like this being out. A lot of things are being tried. And it's just kind of, I think Thunder Junction is a very powerful set. It's not deceptively powerful, but it just has like a lot of plants in there that we don't see. Like a big one here is the Slick Shot
card.
show off. Yeah, this card is really sick. So, this isn't a free spell, but it allows you to amass like Magic's the most powerful decks in Magic that have existed are the ones that can either have this 2-card instant win combo, or they're able to do a lot of spells in a singular turn, such as like storm-based decks. And Slick Shot allows that to happen purely because you're able to like pay for the mana now and then wait for the big boom later, right? And by doing that, I mean, this deck pops off. Like it's a player's worst nightmare is they go like turn 2 Slick Shot, turn 3 Slick Shot, and then turn 4 you're like, what else is going to happen here? And then just go, and the deck plays Expressive, Preordain, and then Mutagenic Growth because it's free spells, and then obviously Lava Dart because it has the free spell, and then if you ever amass most of these, and then all these other cards, you're just playing your typical Soulscar Mage and Swift Spears and Dragon Rage Channeler to kind of turbo the deck. And those are your prowess creatures, and when they've dealt with those prowess creatures, you have a free follow-up that also just loads up. So, yeah.
This is a deck I could play.
Oh, yeah. It's got 3 Blood Moons in the
Yeah.
sideboard. Also, if you don't have Pick Your Poisons, this is like one of the biggest modern cards to date. It's so
I should.
so
I bought
good.
a box of that
It's a
set.
common.
Yeah, it's super good. Like, it's not something you need to go get now, but it might be one of those cards that they don't print it like in the next 3 years. It might be $7. It's like one of those
I like
commons.
this modern deck right here.
Yeah, I like this deck.
This one?
And I have the
like
4
this
Slick
deck.
Shots now because I opened one.
Yeah.
Josh was trading me one, and I ordered 2.
Yeah, this is the
I need the Questing Druids though.
yeah, this would be a perfect
I've
example of a deck that you can,
needed, or I've wanted those cards forever, but I've never like got them.
yeah. So
Because you know why? They put out 1 million Magic cards in a span of a long time.
oh, just in one set there's like 600, so get used to it. Because
Right.
this set's selling super well because of that. So I can't imagine that Aftermath sets are
And
always
it's
going to be in there. You know,
Because they trick you because you open like 10 mythics, but then you look at all the big score ones, and it's like, wow, 9 out of these 10 mythics I opened are trash.
yes, sir.
Right.
So, the big bad right now that exists in Modern, and it's just been placing so well. For the last, it's just been Titan.
Tron.
It's all Titan decks, like Amulet.
Oh, remember when I said, when we ban all those cards, it's just gonna be Primeval Titan
yeah,
again?
you're right.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Right?
That.
Remember
said that.
when we were talking about banning Grief and I said we should ban Primeval Titan instead?
Yeah, the big one I mentioned. I was complaining about that when Mycosynth Garden came out because it just allows you to have these
You
insane
guys,
turns.
you weren't complaining about it. You were laughing at me.
No,
No,
we
no, no,
weren't.
no, no, no.
Bullshit. I'm gonna go find the.
Go
I'm gonna
find the
go
episode.
find the podcast now.
I remember talking about Mycosynth Lattice and being like, they might have to do, and I will quote
Michael
this,
Synth.
or what? Sorry,
Garden.
Mycosynth Garden. I was like, this may be the card that puts this deck over the edge,
I
where
do
it's
remember
the.
you saying that.
And I was like, they might have to do something about this deck. I don't know what it's gonna be, but because of that card, being able to easily double or triple amulet, because you used to have to find amulets the hard way. The fact that you just have a land that you can go search with Teleria West and then get a mic, like that's stupid. So yeah. Yeah, there's more modern stuff. Just a ton of stuff from the challenge. You still have like the Leyline of the Guild Pack deck. Everybody's packing what's called or as many pick your poisons, just because if you are on the play and they go Leyline, you can then pick your poison to get the Leyline, and if they end up with the turn 2 Scion of Draco, you can then get either the flying portion of it if it's the only flying creature, and if not, you can get the artifact portion of it if you really want to choose. But really, that's where you're going, because if you can turn off this portion of it, it makes the deck kind of average. Like, it's kind of not that great. So, yeah, Legion's Zen, huh? What the hell's okay? It's just the most weird stuff that has been popping up lately. I think there was anything else. Yeah, the Slick Shot also with Underworld Breach decks, because you are able to like self feed it and pretty easily with Dragon Chain, like Rage Channeler plus like Underworld Breach just fuels the fire and you're able to pop off there. Does this have the new card in there? I thought there was a new card there. Another one playing. Not too crazy here. Yeah, I didn't see anything too nuts. Like I want to play Affinity. I just think it's missing. This Roxanne card. I like that these are playing this card.
Yeah, Jim was beating up on me with that card.
It's pretty funny. Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. It's always fun to
card
see
is
like random.
good.
Yeah. Well,
it's just Primeval Titan.
yeah. So, the simulacrum
Or
synthesizer.
Titan.
I'm never gonna be able to say that. The synthesizer.
Simulacrum synthesizer.
Yeah.
Solemn simulacrum.
Yeah. Simulacrum.
Smacurum.
So this card's kind of been floating up. A lot of people are building with it, trying with it, and I think I was mentioning on the show that like Frogmite, like Sojourner, and then like Thought Monitor are obviously like clear indications that they should play this card. And I've seen this gets out of hand quickly. It puts decks out of range, and I love that they're all playing a Lava Spur Brutes to give the the
Token haste.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing you want from it. Haste and ward. So, pretty big gain there.
I was reading analysis on the simulacrum, and they were saying they expect it to have kind of like a trajectory like Agatha's Soul Cauldron,
Yeah.
but it's rarer than Agatha's Soul Cauldron, so that's why they think it'll rest at about like 60-ish bucks.
Yeah, so I think the biggest issue with this card, it's like Agatha is a great EDH card. Like people love that card for EDH, giving all my tokens the stupid ability of whatever. This goes in like an artifact deck that you want to play Affinity with. And if you really knock it down, there's not that much affinity. But yes, if this thing gets out of hand, yeah, then we'll run into that. But yeah, this card's also, yeah. Just looking at other things. What the hell is this deck? All right.
9 live combo, probably.
Pretty funny, yeah. Nature's Claim? This guy's crazy. This guy's got to get it together. You don't want to be playing. You need sack effects, so then people can't hexproof you out of nonsense. You need the sack effects.
He went 5-0.
I saw.
Or no,
This is the challenge. There's 74 people in here. Yeah, the One Ring. Also, that not to mention that Pick Your Poison also kills the One Ring.
Your poison.
Yeah,
Yep.
like this card is like the bee's knees. This is such a good card, man. What a card. Yeah, but that's it for about Modern. I don't really think there's anything too crazy that's been kind of showing up. I just know that like there are people building decks, and there's a lot of things trying from a stream's perspective. I have seen some collected company decks in Pioneer that is playing Sataru or whatever, the 2/3 that when things enter the play, you draw a card. If you no mana was
That
spent.
deck that took. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
I was just gonna say that the deck that won is like the deck. You see, that's that enchantment again.
Yeah. What does this even do?
+1/+1 menace and trample, and when it goes to the graveyard, draw a card, but you can plot it for 1 red.
Oh, this is actually pretty good. Surprising. Okay. It's similar to Audacity. It's kind of just like these weird. Okay. Picnic.
This deck is almost all in standard.
This is a Pioneer League that I'm looking at. Yeah, burn. That's usually where week one of the format goes, right? While everybody's figuring out what cards they want to play and what to figure out. Everybody's playing red deck wins.
White weenie
Yeah.
or blue white.
All the aggro decks just come out to play, right? They're just here to put. Also, this card's no joke. Like, this card is sick. So, yeah. It looks like a pretty standard list. It looks good. Wow. These are really low. What? Oh, this is Pioneer. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's the Emilia deck.
I like how they're playing. Oh, yeah. All right. I don't know if this got anything. Just looking over some decks here. Nothing too crazy that's sticking out that, like, blows my mind. There was a good card I liked already. The Demonic Tutor, the black-green one. That Bog the whatever. That card is, like, really, really sick. I'm a huge fan of that card.
Wait, which one?
It's Demonic Tutor. It's like, for each land, you get to look at 2 cards. So if you have 5 lands, you get to look at 10 cards, and then you pick one, put one in your hand.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been watching some of Scapeshift decks play that because you just
What card is this?
Bog of the whatever. It's a black green, and then for each land you control, you look at the top cards or 2 cards per land. So if you have 5 lands, you get to look at the top 10. You put any card and put it in your hand, and then you can plot it. So then you basically plot it. And if you're playing Scapeshift, you plot it, and then 2 turns later, you go search for. You just go get a Scapeshift because it's usually going to be like Scapeshift pops off at 8 lands or 7 lands. So you go and look at the top 14 cards, and you're hoping that your top 14 cards you either have a Scapeshift or something that either protects your Scapeshift. But yeah. All right. So Pioneer is just like pure aggro right now.
Pillage the Bog. I have this card.
Yeah, that card's great. Love that card. And then lastly, Legacy. Not too much crazy stuff's happening here. They are playing, like, I did see this in D&T. They are playing the Simulation Aegis, which is nice. It's just the ability to, like, the Stoneforge package looks so different. Like, there's no swords, there's no Umezawa's Jitte. It's just all cards. Like, the only card that would be familiar, I guess, would be Batterskull. That one looks like a wiener, by the way.
Why is there a Batterskull and a Cauldron Complete?
Batterskull has lifelink. This one doesn't. So if you're falling behind a life, you need to. And also, this has repeatability. And Cauldron Complete, you can't bounce. So, like, Cauldron Complete's like this all-in plan, and a lot of things just deal with germs now. So then you have this hard time re-equipping.
Or you get pick your poison.
Yeah, too. Nothing too crazy here. No, this is some standard stuff, but you'll see more of that synthesizer here because it just works better when you have Mox Opal. Probably a good reason why Mox Opal should never come off the ban list for Modern, just because we don't need, like, decks ramping up their speed. Pest Control is a big one. I've been seeing this deck over and over, like this Esper deck that's Orchestra Master Murktide, Triumph the St. Catherine, no Beanstalks, and then just playing, like, straight up Pest Control because it just deals with all the Delver decks all day. Like, it's so good against Delver decks. Yeah, and also Cycles because needed to have cycling. So, but
Staple more keyword evergreen abilities on me.
Yeah, that card. So it's one of those cards that I think, like, if you see in people's binders, pick up Pest Control because the next set that we go into, when the MH3 comes out and everybody spends all their money on MH3, that means Thunder Junction cards aren't being opened, and then everything's gonna go through the roof. So, Lava Spur Boots is being played too in Legacy.
I opened a foil one.
That's so cool, man. I'm a huge fan.
Ooh. Hang on, I need it for the cube.
I feel like
No,
that's what
for
you
real,
say
like-
No,
every
it's
time.
it's better than.
No,
it's
we
better
are.
than-
We're
yeah.
cutting Colossus Hammer. We're cutting Colossus Hammer.
Yeah,
for
that
it.
card stinks.
Yeah,
Like,
I can
you're just never
trade
getting
it to you.
it. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's all I got. What do you guys got for me?
So real quick, this weekend is the Pro Tour in its standard.
Oh,
That's why I haven't really taken a look at standard too much, besides like picking up the slick shots.
yeah.
Because I'm kind of waiting for this weekend. It's the first time in a couple years now, I want to say, that they've actually done the Pro Tour the second week after a set comes out.
Beautiful.
So, instead of waiting like months after it's figured out. So I think we'll see a lot of like spice this weekend.
Yeah, you gotta be able to. Hopefully, you can get vendors that will sell you cards before they do the bullshit price spike where they're like, "Oh, we found that we didn't have any in our inventory because you were gonna buy this for $4 and you're gonna sell it to us for 30." So, what the hell? That is sick, dude. I forgot the Pro Tour. I might take a look at that. I might watch the Pro Tour. But
I'll probably actually watch it this weekend.
yeah, Pro Tour's
I
good.
gotta get ready for Texas.
Yeah, I can certainly try to test with you if you're interested. I don't know.
Yeah, I would like to play against actual people because, like, again,
Right,
like
yeah.
arena only does so much before it's pointless.
Well, also like talking about it, right? Like laying out your
Yeah.
matchup and what happened and what you should do if you need to make changes to it, or like you may be seeing something differently than I am, or like, hey, like, why are you going down this lane? Because when you go down this lane, it usually leads to defeat. Where you should be going down this way. Where it's an arena, it's just like I won or lost, and a lot of games end in like 7 minutes. So there's not, and you can't like look back on it.
or people concede or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you really don't get like beneficial data. Whereas like a testing, like you should always play to like and like even if it's down to 1%, like if you have a 1% chance to come back, you should still play it out just so you can see what that avenue or path looks like. It's really unlikely, but when you're at the top 8, you really don't want to, not
Too big, yeah.
giving up free points, if you will. So like if you can, do everything in your power to get the extra oomph. Also, copy artifacts really popular now too in Legacy, which is like a $500 card because this vintage deck basically came over. Yeah, it's because you play this, then you copy artifact with it, and now you have 2 of them, and then you play Phyrexian Metaphor, so you copy it, and you just keep copying the same goddamn card. Like, you just copy
And
this
it's
card.
triggering every time it comes in, too.
So I was looking at copy artifacts.
There's
It's like $400 for one of
modern
these.
Horizons Eldrazi commander
Yeah.
is devoid, but it's all colors, and you can pick whenever you cast an Eldrazi spell, you can play colorless, and you can copy that spell.
All right. It's fucking sick. What's the cheapest version of copy artifact?
Like not
Unlimited is
60
180.
bucks.
Oh, I guess a revised edition. I might go get these like this to try to buy these now
Why?
because I want to play that deck.
Because they go with the synthesizer.
Yeah, it's you copy artifact, make the synthesizer. Phyrexian Metamorph, copy the synthesizer. You just keep copying the synthesizer over and over and over, and then eventually you go Paradox Engine. You go, bleh. Yeah. So
I remember Paradox Engine. You guys
Yeah.
remember Paradox Engine?
I remember getting banned in EDH.
Oh, and this is actually it's not copy artifact that I want to go get. It's transmute artifact. That one might be $1 million.
Yeah, that's the $200 one.
It might be more than that now. Transmute artifact. Let's see what this is cost. Okay. An average one's about like you probably get a beat up one.
400. You can get a $200 one. Yeah.
Yeah, probably beat up. This is like near mid prices.
Buy on TC bait for $372.
Dude, this deck needs 4 of those, and 4 copy artifacts. Like I don't have a transmute artifact. I never needed this card.
GG.
Fucking Christ! And it also plays this. This deck is poop.
How much is that card?
It's just
City of Traders.
It's just a City of Traders deck that plays a shitty depletion deck lands because all you're trying to do is what like Candy Trail.
Card's good, man.
Every one of these plays one of these. Why?
Try 2.
Yeah,
You gotta set up your draws.
Hang on, what's it do?
it's just 1 mana do ETBs, try to, and then it's a food and a draw card. It's a clue and a food at the same time for 2 mana.
Does it get hit by Urza Saga?
I love this deck. Also plays Lodestone Golem, Lodestone,
Oh yeah.
copy
When that
artifact,
card got banned.
Argenta Mastercore, protection from multicolor. Don't know why that would matter, but
It gets through Atraxa.
all right. The Might and Weak Stone. Do they even have? No, they don't. Okay, whatever. All right, I'm done looking at this. Josh, get me out of here.
There's peanut butter and there's dessert. They do not belong in the same category. And it's
Aw.
Wednesday, my dude.
I guess I would have to
Peanut
ask
butter
what
pie at work.
I need to know what your definition of dessert is. And does a candy bar count as dessert?
Yeah,
So Reese's peanut butter. You're
that's
telling
peanut
me.
butter. That's peanut butter.
So it doesn't.
You
alo-
don't
it
like
doesn't-
Reese's peanut butter cups?
So you're telling
No,
me
I
that.
love Reese's peanut butter cups.
Wait a minute.
Then that
Wait a
doesn't
goddamn
that just
minute.
like
It's not-
break
it's
apart
not
your
a-
whole argument.
Peanut butter is its own category. It is beyond dessert. Peanut butter is
Oh,
always
I
delicious.
see.
Okay.
I'm with you. Okay, that makes way more sense. The way you said it was like peanut butter does not belong in the dessert category. Hey, dude,
It doesn't.
spoon.
It's
I
peanut
was gonna
butter.
say we got peanut butter pie at work, man. It's amazing.